Welcome to the Carnival Miracle. I am Lexi from Jamaica.
It's cruise day, and our Airbnb prearranged a taxi to come pick us up. Knowing that the ports are going to be busy that day and the taxis are busy, they have prearranged a car from Royal Dover Cars.
Welcome to Dover. If you come to Dover, make sure you use Dover Royal Cars.
And on your cruise day, make sure you have a car arranged to bring you to the cruise terminal. There's not a whole lot of taxis in Dover, so be sure to arrange something in advance. We were right downtown, so the taxi fare was fairly cheap. You can see here it was about 17 pounds for the trip over, or about 20 bucks. And the trip is only 1.5 miles, so it's not very far at all. But you have to go up a bridge and down a bridge, so yeah, that would be a pain in the butt carrying your luggage with you. So arrange a taxi a little early. This trip that we're on is a 12-day trip. Starting out in Dover, our first stop is Belfast. After a day in Belfast, we travel on, have a day at sea, and go to Stateroom, Itinerary, Grunfjordur, and Reykjavik in Iceland. We also had an attempted stop at another little place right here. The little town is called Itinerary, and that's also in Iceland. But the seas were a little rough that day, so we weren't able to tender at the port. So we just canceled that port altogether and continued on sailing. Our last stop was in the Orkney Islands, Kirkwall. That was an interesting stop there with all the breweries that they have around. And then another sea day and finally ending in Dover. Like I say, our 12-day trip covered a total of 3,300 miles at sea. So 12-day cruise we're going to be going on. And after a quick stop for a photo, it's time to board the ship. And it's cruise day. Today, the Carnival Miracle is that we're going on. So this will be a 12-day trip, and we're getting on the ship now. The last little bit, and then vacation begins. Hello. All right. And we are on. First thing, muster station. And after you complete your muster station, it's time to get to know the ship and what all there is to do on it. You can see by the what's happening that's on the right-hand side of the screen. They have things planned as soon as you get on the ship. So don't worry about what you're going to do. They have plans every day for activities. So you just pick out what you would like to do. And if you see right next to it is a little heart. If there's a couple in your group, like me and Cheryl, what I would do if I wanted to do something, I would hit the heart and it would turn red. And that way Cheryl would know what I would like to do. And she does the same thing. Then we can pick what each other, yeah, I'll do that with you if you do this with me. You can pick out what all that you want to do together. Or you can just go on your own. Sometimes we do that too. But there's a whole list of things to do before the ship leaves. One of the things I'm interested in doing is just walking around the ship and see what all has changed in its last dry dock. We are the second cruise after its dry dock, so the cruise right before us was the first cruise. So if they had any problems, they should have worked it out during that cruise. So this should just be a standard cruise with that we could just walk around and see what all changed and not have any big errors. So that's what I'll do. And one of the things I'll spot right away is the nightclub. It used to be 2-story. Now it's 1-story. They made a whole lot of handicap accessible rooms and made the pool more accessible and other places on the ship. Pretty much made the ship entirely handicap accessible. And the picture that you see on the left-hand side, well, there's 2 boats that are in the water. One's spraying water up in the air. That's a little tugboat in case we need help getting out the port. And the one in the red is our pilot. That's going to help bring us out into the English Channel. He's up with the captain there right now. But before it gets too crowded, we're going to get a little snack from the buffet. Welcome back to Dover. Last time we were here, we said there was going to be a few things we would do differently. We would stay in Dover, and we did. We said we'd go visit Dover Castle, which is way up there on top of the hill. And we did that. Saw the tunnels that go all along the coastline of Dover, all the way out to the point. The one complex we were at, which is right underneath Dover Castle, has 4 miles of tunnels, but they're further going down the coastline. So a bunch of stuff we wanted to do last time, we accomplished this time, and we'll be back again next year. Looking around the ship, they just remodeled it, so it's a little bit newer paint on a lot of stuff. And right now it looks like they are filling up with gas. So they are getting a little bit of fuel brought aboard, getting ready for us to sail. So we're scheduled to leave at 4:30, but it's yet to be determined if we'll leave on time or not. Sometimes they run a little late if they're waiting for parts. We saw this side. We have not been to the other side of Dover. Maybe next year we can go see some other stuff around here. Looking out on the other side of the ship is the pier side. There's a lot of activities going on. Probably one of the worst things this trip is you have to have a European visa or English visa to get in England or the UK. So some people have not had that, so they'll have to get it at the pier. Luckily, we had ours and printed it out ahead of time. So we have the UK visa requirement. We did that online. It's about $13. So easy to get, took about 5 minutes to do. We're sitting outside here watching them load up and looking off in the distance. All the stuff. Yesterday we could see over to France. Today it's kind of hazy across here, so can't see as good. But as the ship leaves, we'll probably see it then. Looking out, this is further down the Dover coastline, the other side of the city. There are also a bunch of gun emplacements that I see on top of the other side of Dover. Next year, maybe we'll see that. One of the things you always see me show on the ship is the flags. And going from left to right, with the flags you see flying, the one all the way on the left, red with the blue circle, that's the Carnival Corporation flag. That's the Carnival corporate flag. So you see that flying on all of their ships. Holland America, Princess, Carnival, Cunard, all of the Carnival companies. The one in the middle, the red flag, is usually a customs flag saying that they're clear customs. Not sure why it's red in this case, but could be that they just forgot to change the flag. And the flag all the way on the right is the country flag. So right now the ship is in the UK, so they fly a UK flag. As we go to the other countries, you'll see the other countries' flags pop up. Later on, you'll see Iceland flying. This ship was built in 2004, but like I say, it has dry docks periodically. And this is our room. I'll take you on a real room tour of 4214. So this is a room tour of 4214. This is our room number on this ship. I'm standing with my back to the front door, looking through the ship. And here we have a balcony, so we'll show you that last. First thing you come to is on this side. We have a couple of doors with closets, plenty of hangers. We don't have our stuff yet, but we're packing all of our backpacks and stuff is stored in here temporarily, just until everything arrives. So this is 3 closets that we have. This one, we could drop down all the little shelves that are in the back and make this a closet full of shelves, and we'll probably do that. So that is this side, and Looking back at everything, the next thing that we'll go into is the bathroom. So bathroom, you have this step that's at the bottom. So this step, always hit your toes in the middle of the night. Stump your toes on that. And the bathroom's just a standard cruise ship bathroom. Everything that you normally have. And they're making an announcement, the rooms are ready.
Well, hello there, Carnival family.
But that's it. And then this side, we have some shelves.
And I have some good news for you. Your cabins are now ready.
On this side.
Also, if you haven't already
And
done
we'll
so,
start going out
please
this
head
way.
to your muster stations for our new
Here,
mustering process. And
we
check
have
with
the
one of our team members.
stuff in the
Your
drawers,
muster
as
station
usual.
is located on the back of your stateroom door, on your boarding pass, and your sailing sign card, which is also your cabin key. The process takes just
bunch
a
of
few
shells.
minutes, folks, and the sooner you get it
can
done,
hear
the sooner you can
shell.
get right back to the fun. Also, if you do not
One
have
thing
it
that we
yet,
have,
you can download
only
the
one outlet.
app. It is free
So
and
that's the
packed with
only
ways to
outlet
make your
in the
vacation
room
even
that I
better.
see.
You can pop your device onto airplane mode.
Looking around, this could make into a bed later on.
Visit carnivalhub.com.
But the lamps have no
On
USBs.
deck number 9 forward, we do have the beautiful Cloud9 Spa. You can head over there for some spa tours and find out how to win $500
And
spa credit in their big raffle.
The
The
safe.
Carnival Adventures desk is
The
also
safe is the
open
old
till
style
5
safe with the key
o'clock on deck
codes.
2 in the middle
So
of the ship
old
for
style
you. So you
safe.
can head over there to book a wonderful
And
adventure of a lifetime
down below,
for our incredible ports
a
of
fridge.
call. But once again, folks, now is the time to head to your muster
Yeah,
station
see, I don't
to
know.
complete that self-mustering
It's
process.
kind of hard to open
Thank
up.
you so much, and we'll see you all out and about and
There
around
it
the
goes.
ship. Bye for
So
now.
regular cooler, it's not real cold. So it's going to keep stuff cool, but not cold. Don't know what you use this little shelf for. They have them on all the ships, but it's very small. Our room, we have it set up so we have 2 beds, and we'll store our suitcases underneath. Right up underneath here is room to put suitcases.
Set up as one bed.
Yeah, set up as 1 bed. I may have said 2, but it's set up as 1 bed. Then we have our balcony outside. And it's already locked. So for kids' safety, they put a lock up top. Look like they've done some work on the balconies. This looks pretty good. So the balcony that we have is toward the back end of the ship. Not an aft facing, but toward the back of the ship. It's good enough. It's probably about 5-6 foot wide. We have a couple of chairs and a little table. Another chair on this side. And the partitions. If you have a big group, you could open up the partition in the middle, and that way you have a bigger balcony, and that way you can connect one room to the other. But pretty good view off the edge. And down below us, they have a walkway down further down. You'll probably see us going around this, getting exercise while the trip's going on. But that is it. That is a room tour of 4214. And we'll put something on our door later on. That way we could find our room a whole lot easier. So later on, we can just walk down to, we see our little sign that we put on the door. And now the little tug is giving us a little salute. A little fire salute. So spraying the water up in the air. So our little tug is still squirting water. Sometimes they do this as a tribute if it's a captain's last time in this port or first time in this port, but I'm not sure why they're doing it here. maybe later on in the trip we'll figure it out. Or, yeah, if we do find out, I'll put it in the comments in this video. So you'll see later on maybe why this little tug is spouting off. So another important boat that you see right in the middle of your screen, a smaller boat, that's a pilot boat. What it has on there is a port pilot. He's going to help. The actual port pilot is on our ship. That boat is going to pick him up later on after we're out in the English Channel. But what the pilot does is help guide the captain out with the winds, seas, and just everything about the port he knows. And it's going to help the pilot make good decisions about getting out. If they need to, the little tug that you see spouting is going to help them get out. But hopefully they don't need it. But like you see, we're just starting to edge a little bit out now. So we're finally casting off here. And our little pilot boat is still spouting off. And looking through the binoculars that I have, I can see it looks like a young pilot or captain of the little tugboat, and looked like his wife and kids are on there. So it may be their first time out, because it was a young kid that was with him, and they were having fun with them on the little small tugboat. So I'm guessing it's their first time out on the water, and he's just having some fun.
And in case you're wondering what there is to eat on the cruise ship, well, there's a whole lot of different places. And as the cruise goes along, we'll show you some of the other places to eat at. But tonight, we're going to the main dining room, and we have your time dining, so we can go whenever that we would like. We just sign up on the phone and get a table. I'll show you how to sign up right now. So all you do is pick the people who are going to eat and get a table. And what they'll do is they will assign you a table and send you this whenever that your table is ready. And when your table is ready, you'll get this notification on the phone, along with the sound, the ship's horn. And the decor in this dining room is like you're a bug in a grapevine. It's like a bug's life. Everything's purple. So that's why the pictures are a little purple. But for appetizers, I have the Caesar salad, and Cheryl also has it. I'll also have the crawfish strudel, seeing we're from Louisiana. And for the entrees, both of us get the short rib. For dessert, Cheryl has a chocolate chunk bread pudding with ice cream. And I have one of my favorites, cheesecake with strawberry topping. And after dinner, we catch a little show before calling it an early night. Yeah, we kind of getting relaxed on the ship and settle down on our normal routine.
Tonight we're going to end the night with a little tea time. Tonight's flavor, blueberry tea. Usually I drink the mango passion fruit, but tonight, blueberry. I filled my little container with different flavors, and we'll try one each night.
Hopefully you enjoyed this week's episode of Day 1 of our cruise to Iceland. Embarkation Day. That's always a tough day to go. A lot of moving around going there. And join us again next week for day number 2, where I'll take you on a little tour of the ship. I'll take you on decks 3 and 4 and show you what they look like. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.